Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. This is a bhajan or holy chant by Jayadev Goswami that explains the 10 different avatars of Krishna, and we'll just read one of the verses, verse number 3, which is one we sing all the time. It says, O Keshava, or Krishna, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari. Number 4. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, or Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of a half man, half lion. All glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. So this explains the 10 principal incarnations of Krishna during one day of Brahma. Hare Krishna. This bhajan or holy chant is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the great saint. He's the grand guru of our spiritual master's guru, and he says, "O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda," meaning Krishna, "which make one fearless, having obtained this rare human birth. Cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. Both in the day and night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely, hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him, and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. So this is I made a mistake. This bhajan is written by Govinda Das. And basically, it's all about saranagati, surrendering everything to Krishna. Bhajahure mana Shinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Bhajahure mana Shinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Dulabha manabha janama satsange Dulabha manabha janama satsange Tara hoe bhavo sindhure Tara hoe bhavo sindhure Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Sita atapa mahata parisana edina jamini jagire Vipale sevino kipana durajana Vipale sevino kipana durajana Chapala sukalaba lajire Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Edana Yobana Putra Parijana Iteki Ache Parati Tire Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Bajahu Hari Padani Tire Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna Shavana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasa Vilasyare Govinda Dasa Vilasyare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Premanande Ki Jai. Give these out sparingly. There's not too many of them. But, Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Nandalala Jai Gopala Shri Radhe Govinda Mana Bajale Hari Ka Pyara Naam Hai Shri Radhe Govinda Mana Bajale Hari Ka Pyara Naam Hai Hari ka pyara naam hai Nandalala Hari ka pyara naam hai Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Bolo Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Mora Mukuta Siladal Banamala Kesara Tilak Lagaya Kesara Tilak Lagaya Vrindavana Ki Kunja Gali Mein Sabko Nachana Jaya Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Mola Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala Jai Nandalala Nandalala Jai Gopala. Yamuna Kinare Denu Charave Madhava Madana Murari Madhava Madana Murari Madhura Muraliya Jabari Bajare Hari Sudhapada Sari Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Tera pyara naam hai, Gopala tera pyara naam hai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala. Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala. Giridhara Nagar Keti Mera Surako Shamal Baya Surako Shamal Baya Tukarama Or Namadevane Vittala Vittala Gaya Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala. Jai Nandalala Jai Gopala. Radha Shakti Binana Koi Shamala Darsana Pave Shamala Darsana Pave Aradhana Ka Radhe Radhe Kanha Bhage Ave Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Nandi ki jai. Let's see. What do you want to sing? Do we have the words? Let me get the words. Just one second. Get the right key. Adaram Maduram Vadanam Maduram Madhuram Adanam Madhuram Adanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram Gamanam Madhuram Madhura Dipatherakila Madhuram Tagore Premanandi Ki Jai. Something? Go ahead, which one? What? Krishna? Yeah, you sing it. Okay, give this to her. Give this to her. Oh, you have your... Doesn't work. Okay, take this one.
I take this one.
Okay, take this.
Mataji, just keep this one. And you need the mic also, yes?
Yeah, sure. Tell his dad to take her. Krishna, Krishna jinka naam hai. Krishna. This is good. Huh? We'll do this. Different. Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokula jinka dham hai. Or we can go low, one more.
Low?
Low. Yeah. Krishna jinka. That's too low. One more high. Sorry.
A little bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah. Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokula jinka dham hai. Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokula jinka dham hai. ऐसे श्री Yeah, I'll get it. Nam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, But today is very late, so we're going to have a very short class. It only lasts 1 hour. I mean, no, it only lasts 10 minutes. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, this morning we discussed a very interesting point, and we'll continue that right now. So in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 45, it says, Jai Gunya Vishaya Veda Nishta Gunya Bhavarjana Te Dvanda Mohanir Mukta Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan. So this verse says, the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and for all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So in the purport, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami says, all material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature, that is sattva, rajas, and tamas. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where, in the beginning, there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karmakanda chapter of the Vedas, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are a part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance. Okay, those kids have to, they should go downstairs. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, cold or warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. So this is an extremely profound verse and purport, and I'm going to try and explain it in a few minutes. But the main point to understand here is that the whole purpose of the Vedic literature, such as Bhagavad Gita, is to help people readjust the way they see life. Without our conscious awareness, we see life as a pursuit of material happiness, And in order to achieve this happiness, one needs a certain amount of money. And in order to get that money, one either works honestly or dishonestly, whichever way they can get the money. With the money, they use that for material happiness. Material happiness means when you go to Home Depot or Fred Meyer or Target or any of these stores, when you walk in, you don't see things as things you want to buy to offer Krishna. You see things as things you want to buy to serve yourself. Right? When you walk into Fred Meyer, you don't think, oh, here's a very ripe mango, I'll take this one to the temple. And here's one that's not ripe, I'll take this one home. You usually think, here's a very ripe mango, I'm going to take this one home. And here's one that's not so ripe, I'll take it to the temple, maybe, if I get a chance to go there. If I don't, well, who cares? So that vision, which is called darshan, how to see what you're relating to in the material world, whether it's a mango or a tomato or a potato or a new house or a new car or clothing or whatever. It's how do you see these things? Do you see them in relationship to Krishna, or do you see them separate from Krishna? Well, most people see these things separate from God. And therefore, they get entangled in the actions and reactions of material life, or the laws of karma. Why? Because, according to the laws of karma, Ishivaishyam midam sarvam jatkinja jagatyam jagat tenatak chen punjitaha magritaha kasasviddanam. Everything in this creation belongs to Isha. Isha is the name of Krishna. It means he's the supreme personality of Godhead. He's the controller and the owner of everything. So everything we see actually belongs to Krishna. Just like when you see a computer, you also see a little label, Intel Inside. What does that little label tell you? That means the microprocessors inside this computer. It might be a Dell computer, it might be a Hitachi computer, it might be a Microsoft computer, it might be a Google computer, it doesn't matter. That little label says that the microprocessors inside this computer that may actually make it work, it belongs to Intel. So we don't see the world like that. We see Intel inside, but we don't see Krishna inside. And that's called material vision, when we don't see how things actually belong to Krishna, and we don't understand how they should actually be used in Krishna's service. That is called material vision. And when we pursue that vision, we become entangled in the material world. We don't understand how it's happening. We don't understand anything. We don't understand anything. I don't understand how I digest food. I don't understand why I blink my eyes. I don't understand why I have saliva in my mouth. I don't understand how my eye works. I don't understand how my brain works. I don't understand how my ears work. I don't understand anything. Yet I'm using these things. So that should be the trigger. It's called Atato Brahma Jigyasa in Sanskrit. This should trigger the question, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now let me inquire into why and how and for who and where and when these things came about, how they should be used, who they belong to, what is the meaning of life. This should enter into our mind when we realize I'm using all these things, I depend on these things, but I don't understand these things. If that question never arises in the mind, then we're living like a puppet. You know what a puppet is? Someone has a puppet. And says, hello, how are you today? And everyone laughs, oh, you know. And then someone says, hey, wait a minute, the puppet's not talking, that guy is talking. That's all. Well, yeah, that person understood, but when you don't understand, you think the puppet is talking and moving by itself. See? So, without asking this question, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, now let me understand the who, when, where, why, how of things, we remain a puppet of the laws of material nature, of the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, of the cycle of birth and death, and so forth. It's compared more to a sleepwalker. Have you ever seen a sleepwalker? They're sleeping, but they're walking in the sleep. Like this. You know. That's our condition. We're not aware. There's no darshan. We don't see things as they are. So we're relating to things incorrectly, we're using things incorrectly, and ignorance is no excuse. The laws of karma are blind. That's the problem. There's no kripa. Kripa karo. There's no kripa karo. When you're dealing with Coca-Cola machines and stop signs and red lights and IRS laws and things like that. There's no kripa there. It's just blind laws, right? And you make a mistake, you suffer. It doesn't matter you're a little kid or a big man, you're a nice guy, you're a bad guy, you suffer. Just like one of our devotees, he went to somebody's house and they asked him to cut a cake, a birthday cake. So he said, all right. He said, where's the knife? They said, it's over there. It was a brand new knife, just bought in Costco. So it didn't look like a knife. It looked like a long, thin piece of plastic. So he thought the plastic was the knife. So he went like this. It cut his finger off. He had to get the finger sewed on again. Because he mistaked the cover of the knife for the knife. And when he went like this, it cut his hand. Seriously, it cut his fingers. Seriously. He had to get so many stitches and he had to rush to the hospital. He made a mistake of perception. Well, every minute of our life, we're making a mistake of perception. We're thinking, just like when you take a little kid to Toys R Us, as soon as they walk in and say, Daddy, I want this. Daddy, I want that. I want this. I want that. No, I wanted this. I didn't want that. They go crazy. Has that ever happened to you? Huh? You see, I want. So this I want, when we can change it to, I should offer this to Krishna. That means we went from a spiritual vision of life, material vision of life, to a spiritual vision of life. And that's the whole purpose of the Vedas, to teach us how to see things correctly. Just like when you see your child, you see the child with the eyes of love and protection. But when a child molester sees your child, they don't see him the same way you do. It's the same child. They see the child completely different. And if they get a chance, they will molest the child. If you get a chance, you'll protect the child. If they get a chance, they'll molest the child. Because the way they see is different. And it's the same for us. We do not see this world correctly. Therefore, everything we touch, everything we use, we get condemned by the blind laws of nature. Nature's laws, as I said, are blind. They don't, if you go to a policeman and he stops you, he said, you went through a red light. You say, oh, I'm sorry, I had a little cramp on my foot and I couldn't pull it up from the pedal, the acceleration pedal. I said, okay, well, you can explain that to the judge, and he writes the ticket, $300. He said, but no, if you do that, my insurance is going. Well, you should have thought of that before you had a cramp in your leg. See, there's no kripa. It's just blind laws. So, if we don't want to become a victim of these blind laws of nature, then we need knowledge. We need to understand how things are working, who it belongs to, how things should be used, right? The who, when, why, where, how, and so forth. Otherwise, out of ignorance, we condemn ourselves. It's nobody else's fault, it's our own fault. Can't blame anybody else. The knowledge is there. The knowledge is there. Bhagavad Gita is there. It's been there 5,000 years. It's not that it only came out 2 weeks ago. It's been here 5,000 years. It explains everything in detail. But we're not interested. We want to read Marx, we want to read Freud, we want to read Darwin, we want to read this one and that one. And that only increases our misconceptions. That increases them. It doesn't decrease them, it increases them. So if we want to get the real insider information of how everything works and how we can go from a life of self-victimization to a life of self-realization. From victimization to realization. It's very interesting, right? Then we should very seriously hear Bhagavad Gita. Consecrate time to hear this subject so that we don't make errors out of ignorance. Ignorance is the enemy. It's not the devil. It's not Obama. It's not Bush. It's not Putin. It's not this one or that. It's ignorance. And ignorance is a self-imposed state. No one is forcing you to be ignorant. We put ourselves into ignorance by ignoring good advice. Just like your kids, you say, don't smoke. Don't watch television till 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't eat junk food. Don't do this, don't do that. And for most kids, it goes in one ear and out the other. Right? So when you're not looking to smoking a cigarette, you're not looking to drinking beer, you're not looking to staying up all night playing on the television or computer. If you let them do whatever they want, then you can't expect them to be disciplined, to focus, to be respectful, whatever. They're learning from chaos. You don't learn from chaos. Okay, so this verse says, as long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions caused by the modes of material nature acting on us. One has to learn to tolerate these things in the face of duality, such as happiness and distress. In other words, things are going to happen in life. If we don't know how to tolerate them, we go crazy. We get depressed. And when you become crazy and depressed, you do crazy things. Unless we have a high degree of tolerance, just like road rage. What is road rage? You're driving down the street, you don't know the person driving the other way. You never met them before. You never saw them before. But they do a little thing, and a person develops road rage, and they start following that person to kill them. That means there's no brain there, there's gobar between the two ears. There's no ability to discriminate, to understand a situation, to understand what my duty is. Like, wait a minute, instead of chasing the stranger to kill him, I should be going home to take care of my family. Right? Instead of driving around like a madman, I should drive very carefully, I should tolerate, I should be patient, and I should always remember what my duty in life is. You see? But road rage, people completely forget who they are, what they should be doing, what their duty in life is, and go off on a tangent to kill somebody. You see? That means there's no training, there's no intelligence. The person has been dumbed down to such a point that from 1 second to the next, they can completely change their orientation in life and do some absolutely crazy, irresponsible thing. So, one has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities, such as happiness and distress. Life is not going to always be happy. There's always going to be different situations. Unless we have a deep reservoir of knowledge and experience, we're going to be like a ping pong ball. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The ball is being hit by this side to go to the other side. The ball is hit on the other side to come this side. That's us. That's not the ping pong ball, that's us. When we don't have control of the mind and the senses, we're like that ping pong ball being battered back and forth. See? One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress. And by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. Now this is the key. People, like I've always told this story about my uncle. I could go and see my uncle and know, without reading the newspaper or watching the television, what the stock market did that day. If he was happy, I knew the stock market went up. If he was upset, I knew it went down. And this was his life. Day by day, he would either be happy or miserable, depending on the stock market. Now, is that a life? That's not a life. That's a ping pong ball. That's not a brain. That's empty space between the ears. You see? There's no discrimination. There's no understanding why, where, when. It all depends on the stock market, whether it goes up or down. You see? So, there's anxiety due to gain or loss. You see? This is the fundamental thing that people are worried about. Just like I had a friend of mine, she's a psychologist. And one day I said, you know, Prabhu, in the Bhagavad Gita it says that when people lose things that they're very attached to, they go crazy. She said, oh yes, that's absolutely true. So I see it every day. She said, but if they don't lose things right away, when they lose them little by little, they go really crazy. When they lose something abruptly, that also causes serious damage to the way they think. But worse than that is slowly losing things. So she's a psychologist. She's dealing with people going crazy every day. So she understands perfectly the cause of it. Okay, so therefore this gain and loss is something we have to learn how to deal with. For example, many of your grandmothers and grandfathers in India probably only earned, I don't know for sure, but probably only earned 300 or 400 rupees a month. Is that true or not? Not true. Yeah. Did they raise their family? Did they educate their kids? Was there food on the table? Right? How long did they live? Maybe they lived be 80, 90, 100 years old. Right? They had a life, right? Now, today, if you only earn 300 or 400 rupees a month, what would you be thinking?
Most unhappy.
Most unhappy, right? You wouldn't be able, you'd be shaking all the time, be upset. But yet, your mother or father, or your grandmother or grandfather, or your great-grandmother or grandfather, that's all they earned. Maybe they earned less than that. I did a funeral for one man. His father died, and he spoke. He said, my father never made more than 200 or 300 rupees a month, but yet he raised all 3 kids. He all gave us a perfect, good education. We all became successful. We all came to America. One is a doctor, one is a lawyer, one is this, that. But the father himself, he did it with 200 or 300 rupees a month. You see? So, there's no reason to be worried about gain or loss. What we should be worried about is uncontrolled lust and greed. That's what we should be worried about. Don't be worried about gain or loss, because you could always downsize. Let's say you go bankrupt in America. You can always move back to India and start all over again. Or you can move to Japan. Or you can move, I don't know, to Montana up in a mountain. And you can always live. Anywhere you go, you could always live. It's just a question of, can your mind be able to be peaceful with less? That's the question. So therefore, my father once told me, he who wants less always finds more in life. He who wants little will always find a lot in life. Then that's pretty good, isn't it? If we follow that wisdom. Is curtailing our material needs. Downsizing. Why should only Boeing downsize? Why can't we downsize? Why should Microsoft downsize? Why can't we downsize? Right? But no, we want to expand, and to expand, people get into anxiety. But if you downsize and live on a minimum, that's following this verse, Ishavaishamidam sarvam jatkinja jagatyam jagat. God has set aside for every living being their minimum needs. Accepting only your minimum and using everything extra in the service of Krishna or God, you will never be affected by the laws of nature. Now this is wisdom, very deep wisdom. You'll no longer be affected by anxieties for gain or loss, etc. So anyway, this was one verse, 2nd chapter, 45th verse. It's extremely profound. We can say a lot more about it, but we'll stop right there and continue again. And thank you very much. Sorry it's a little late today, and we'll have our arti now. Hare Krishna. Okay, we have a very short presentation first. Please sit down a minute. We have good news for everyone. We have, instead of downsizing, we're expanding. We have purchased a new temple. Of course, the purchase is not finished yet. Just the agreement has been made. This new temple, is it ready? Come on, right away. This new temple is in Bellevue. It's a brand new building that will be ready in August, end of this July, to move into. It's almost twice as big as this building. We've been trying to do this for the last 2 years and finally succeeded. We're not out of the wilderness yet. We still have a lot of things to do before we move in, and we're going to explain right now. So 2 years ago, I went to Tirupati, to Kanchipuram, and to Rangachetra, Ranganath. And I was very impressed by Ranganath, Varadaraj, and Balaji. Very, very impressed. And when I came back, I had a desire in my heart to make a beautiful temple for Balaji and Ranganath and Varadaraj, but mainly Balaji. So then last year, out of nowhere, we were able to have the Srinivas Kalyanam performed by priests from Tirupati Balaji Temple, and sponsored by the Tirupati Tirumala Devastan, and the JEO, or Joint Executive Officer of Tirupati, came, Mr. Srinivas Raju, and he came and he spoke and he stayed with us 2 days. At that time, during that marriage ceremony of Balaji, I explained to people, this is the man you have to know. He's the one that gives permission for darshan in Tirupati. So he's a very big government official who is the manager. He's the actual manager. There's a chief executive officer, but this gentleman, Srinivas Raju, is the one that actually manages the place on a day-to-day basis. And he was a very nice man. And he was very impressed by the way we organized that wedding ceremony for Balaji. And he said, this is the standard we want when Kalyanam is done outside of Tirupati. You guys have done something exceptional. And it was due to all the hard work of all the devotees, and it was a very beautiful ceremony. About 3,500 people came. And at that time, we all got a taste of what it's like to promote Balaji Darshan of Lord Balaji. You know, if you read the book that we've written about Srinivas Kalyanam and the life of Balaji, or the pastimes of Balaji, you'll see, it's on the front desk downstairs, it's free. You'll see that Balaji appeared in Kali Yuga to inspire people spiritually, to inspire devotion. And that's what actually happens. If you go, walk up to the mountain or drive up to the mountain, wait in line, and finally have darshan. Of course, the darshan is only maybe 15, 30 seconds, 1 minute maximum. But the whole experience evokes a feeling of awe and devotion to the Lord. And here are pictures from the Kalyanam. And at that time, I made an announcement that we were going to open a temple of Balaji. This is June 22nd last year. And we kept trying and trying, and it was a very difficult process. We said many times we thought we couldn't do it, but the hand of Balaji was involved. It was beyond our understanding. And now it's actually happened. And this is a temple Okay, is that all? You have any other pictures? Go ahead. No. So we actually received the Utsav deities of Balaji sometime in September 2000 or October 2012. We have them now. And the Mula deity of Balaji is being carved right now. It'll be 6 feet tall, it'll be made out of stone, and it'll be here. We're not sure when, but it'll definitely be here, hopefully before the end of this year. And this is the building. It's actually built already. It's at 124th and Belred Road, across the street from the Safeway and Coca-Cola factories. You see that yellow arrow, that's where it is. And so it's only like 5 minutes from downtown Bellevue, 4 or 5 minutes from Overlake Hospital, 3-4 minutes from Whole Foods, and right in the center of Bellevue. And the whole Bellevue downtown is going to move to that Belred corridor in the next 10 years. There'll be a light rail station right across the street from the temple. There'll be a new development of businesses, condos, IT companies. There'll be about 10,000 new jobs created all across the street from the temple. So this is a very good place. There are 23,000 cars that drive by on Belred Road every day right now. So we're just informing everyone. As far as the purchase goes, out of nowhere, we were able to get the permission for a $3.5 million loan from our bank, the same bank that loaned us money for this temple. Obviously, they trust us, they like us, and they believe in this project. Therefore, they're willing to back us up. And the total cost right now, if you count everything, is $5.1 million for this building. We have gotten pledges and collected money for around $700,000. So, in other words, if you take 3.5, subtract it from 5.1, right? So you have $1,600,000. And it's going to cost us another $400,000 to get everything ready inside the building to receive Balaji, right? So basically it's $2 million, of which we have we have $700,000. So we have to raise approximately $1.3 million from now to the end of July. Now, we had to do the same thing for this temple. We had to raise $3.5 million for this temple in cash in order to get a loan from the bank for the rest. So it's almost the same thing. And we're confident, by the mercy of Radha and Krishna, by the mercy of Venkateshwara, Balaji, it'll happen, hopefully. So I just wanted to inform you, it's good news, it's very auspicious, something wonderful is going to happen. This is going to be the new Balaji temple. The name of the temple is going to be VIBE, V-I-B-E, which means Vedic Institute for Benevolent Education. Just like this is the Vedic Cultural Center, that's going to be Vedic Institute for Benevolent Education. And there's going to be a lot of education going on there. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jayo Jaya Gora Chande Arati Ke Soba Jana Vita Mane Chagamana Loba Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shiva Shankar, Bhaje Ganta, Bhaje Karatara. Madhurami Ganga Bhaje Paramarasala. Madhurami Ganga Bhaje Paramarasala. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Shiva Sukhanarada Premegada Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Sankirtan ki Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki Gaur Premanande Jai Krishna Bhat Paramahansa Prabhupada Ki Chasta Tarasatara Shri Shri Srimad Nizdaman Gri Shri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samkunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the Son of the Lord. All glories to the Son of the Lord. All glories to the Son of the Lord. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Namaste Narasimhaya Thank you very much. While we make these announcements, there are going to be some pictures from our Holy Festival on the screens. So we have the following announcements. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors for the feast today. Richa Kumar. If Richa Kumar is here and family, please come forward. We want to thank you very much for sponsoring the feast. Richa Kumar. Okay, on April 13th, next week at 9 a.m., as part of the Ugadi celebrations, the Kerala New Year Ugadi celebrations, April 13th at 9 a.m., we're going to do Sri Venkateshwara Balaji Abhishekam here in the temple. These are our Balaji deity, and please come April 13th at 9 a.m. Sri Venkateshwara Abhishekam. Then on Thursday, I guess it's April 16th, we have a seniors program in the temple. It's a Thursday, and beginning at 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So anyone who's a senior, I'm a senior. Anybody else is welcome. You're a senior. And we're going to have regular seniors programs in the temple to respect our elders and perform Mata Pita Pitripyam Namaha, offer our respects. So that's next Thursday. Then we have Ram Nomi. So on April 19th, that's Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Sri Ram Nomi, Sri Rama Abhishekam here in the temple. And then on April 20th, that's Sunday, Sitaram Kalyanam, the wedding ceremony of Sita and Ram, from 6 to 8 p.m. on April 20th. And then on April 21st, Sri Ram Nomi celebration from 6 to 9 p.m. So we're going to celebrate 3 days of Ram Nomi. Then we have Yoga for Children. Yoga for Children starting April 21st at 7:30 a.m. Yoga for Children. All this information is going to be on our webpage. And then our next batch of Vedic mathematics for children, there's going to be batch 1 and batch 2, April 16th, from, April 13th, I'm sorry. April 13th, 10 a.m. to 11, Vedic mathematics. And then on June 2nd, we have a concert by Vidwan Sikhi Guru Charan, who's a pretty famous Carnatic singer. We had the concert last night at the Baha'i Center with the Priya sisters. It was sold out. It was a wonderful concert. So our next concert is Vidwan Sikhi Guru Charan on June the 2nd. And now we're going to begin to advertise our Ananda Mela Festival, July 27th and 28th. You can all participate in helping us publicize it, getting the word out. We have handouts, we have posters, and we have car stickers. So please help us to advertise for Ananda Mela. After Ananda Mela, in the Redmond City Hall campus, we're going to have our Flavors of India Festival and Rath Yatra Festival at the downtown Bellevue Park, next to the Bellevue Square Mall. And that's August 31st and September 1st. And on November 5th, we're going to have the biggest ever Diwali festival that Seattle has ever seen at the Seattle Center in the Armory, where all the food court is. We're expecting 5,000 to 10,000 people. So you can help us celebrate. It's going to really showcase the Indian community to the whole Seattle area. So thank you very much. And now we'll continue our kirtan. And there's, of course, prasadam downstairs. This place is fun. It's a lot of fun. Haribol. Who wants to sing? Anybody want to sing? Anybody want to sing? Want to sing? I'm going to hand this out. I'm going to hand it out. Don't give many. Just give one for every 2-3 people because we don't have many. Start with the women. Start with the women. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nagarananda, Bajori Mana Govinda. Shama Sundara Mukha Chanda, Bajori Mana Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tui Natabara, Tui Nagara, Tui Natabara, Tui Nagara, Tui Balamukunda, Bajori Mana Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Rama, hey, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Don't do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सबदे वन में कृष्ण जी बादे हैं, सबदे वन में कृष्ण जी बादे हैं। जो तारो Pancha Chanda Bhajori Mana Govinda. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. सब सखियां में राधा जी बने हैं, सब सखियां में राधा जी बने हैं। जो नदियों न गंगा पचोरी मन गोविंदा, जो नदियों में गंगा Bhajori Mana Govinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Tare Palada Ubare, Dhruva Tare Palada Ubare, Narasingha Rupa Dharanta Bhajori Mana Govinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Kaliya Dhamma mein naga jo nagyo, Kaliya Jana mein naga jo nagyo, Pana Pana Nirakaranga Bhajori Mana Govinda. Pana Pana Nirakaranga Bhajori Mana Govinda. Hira ke Prabhu Giri Nagaram, Hira ke Prabhu Giri Nagaram. Yanga Panda Bhajori Mana Govinda. Nata Maranagara Nanda Mana Govinda. Shama Sundara Mukha Chanda Bajoni Mana Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shama Sundara Mukunda Chanda Bhagore Mana Govinda. Shama Sundara Mukunda Chanda Bhagore Mana Govinda. Govinda Govinda Govinda. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You want to sing? So now our Puja and Gitika are going to sing. Now you have some real singers coming here, not some phony like me. Here, you use this microphone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as close as you can to your neck. Tonight, also, we want to thank Satish and Sunita Koshik. They have donated $1,000 to the Vedic Cultural Center. Thank you very much, Satish and Sunita.
Rad. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I'll give you this one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Radha Shama Rama Mora